I was just sitting here. I was just riding, actually getting ready to go mail some stuff off concerning this the rescission process that I'm doing concerning my car. And I was just thinking about, I was looking at my passport. I used my passport to get my paperwork notarized. And I was just thinking about how a lot of people so caught up on not being labeled as a U.S. citizen, even with their passport. Even myself, okay? Even myself, I got sucked into that type of rhetoric too. I call it rhetoric because I understand something that I wasn't thinking about back then. Just imagine if you have this status where you're trying your best not to be labeled a U.S. citizen, okay? You don't want to be labeled a U.S. citizen. Now keep in mind, we submit the DS-11 application to the federal government, okay, to the Department of State. That's who actually issues the passports. That's federal, okay? That's the highest jurisdiction, okay? Even when you get your birth certificates authenticated, you go through those processes, doing stuff like that. The last entity that you go to is the Department of State. That's who authenticates your certificate of live birth. Keep in mind, that's federal. And that's for, that's authenticated on the federal level is actually so that document can be used in another country. Okay? Coming back around to the U.S. citizen part. Now, when you're talking about not wanting to be not wanting to be labeled as one, think about slave trade back when it was, actually slave trade, y'all know slavery still exists in other countries. They still practice slavery in other countries. I just imagine you got a passport and you trying your best not to be labeled a U.S. citizen. Also, keep in mind, slave trading is also commercial. There's a lot of money being made in that. They sold trade. They sold slaves, okay, to other countries, to other tribes or whatever. They sell them. It's good business, big business, not good business, but big business. Okay, so that's for commercial purposes. Imagine you going over there, you going to any other country, and you have no nationality. Keep in mind, if you look at the definition of a United States citizen, or just say United States, depending on what title you look into, one definition may say it's a corporation, but there are other definitions where, depending on what you're looking at, what codes you're looking at, that says it's the continental, geographical area, in a geographical sense. It's talking about the land. Generally, when you're looking at when the federal government, Department of State are talking about the United States, they're talking about a geographical standpoint, depending on what code they're using, what they're talking about. With that being see, we've been programmed on the internet, listening to different people on the internet. We've been programmed to automatically see United States citizen, that label as being a terrible thing. It's something you don't want, it's a slave. But it's really showing where you belong in the world. Okay? What area, what landmass you belong to. So if you got a passport and you got a passport that shows no country that you belong to, just imagine that. And you're in one of them damn countries where you can be sold as a slave. And you have this ain't no U.S. citizen here. Just imagine that. And it's for commercial purposes. These passports are for commercial purposes. And it's the status of the name. It's the status of your estate. Not you as a man or woman, but it's what you use when you're traveling, using the airline, utilizing the business of the airlines, You're doing business in another country. Out there on vacation. You're doing things that is just for your pleasure, but at the same time, you're conducting business in another country. You conducting business when you're utilizing their services, the airline services. So you use that passport to conduct that type of business. That's why, that name is still even in all caps on the passport. It's for commercial purposes. But it also shows what company I'm gonna use company that entity belongs to. What company that name, that straw man name, that estate name is up under. What entity created that straw man name? So it also shows a sense of actually showing where you belong if you get captured by some enemy, or you somewhere where they can't identify who you are or where you come from, And keep in mind when you start a business, think about this: when you start a business, all of you have started businesses before, there's always ask you, where's the address where that company, where's the principal address of where that business was formed? Keep in mind, your name in all caps is also a business. Your estate is also a business name. This is all business, it's all commercial. So, it's all about controlling the name. It's not, I come to the realization that it's not about trying to make sure it's not labeled as a U.S. citizen. It's all about how you control that entity so that nobody can just raid your estate. But it also shows where that estate belongs to, where in the world, where the demographic, the principal address. Where's the principal address of that name? And it's in America. It's in the United States of America. You do see United States of America written on the passport. You do see that. Regardless if it says United States citizen or whatever, it does say United States of America on the bottom of it. So a lot of us we get so caught up in the U.S. citizen part till we don't think about where this comes from. We got to start thinking for ourselves, y'all. Stop being so caught up being programmed by the stuff that we're hearing all the time on the internet. Because if you just imagine if I had this passport didn't have United States of America on it. Because keep in mind, regardless of how you fill out that DS-11 form, your passport going to look like that. Your passport is going to have this going to look just like this. That's why you can't tell the ones who actually filled it out right, or filled it out the regular way. Everybody's passport looks like this. People who claim they got a passport that says some different shit on the inside of it, I haven't seen nothing different. They all look the same to me. I don't think anybody can point out anything different that look different, And we're not talking about the people who with diplomatic passports. Because you look up the different diplomatic passports, it's a totally different passport. It's somebody that actually, works for the government, But anyway, I want to, I'm basically addressing those people that actually talking about, trying to fill out the DS-11 form so that they can get a passport that's not a U.S. citizen passport. Because we get caught up on those type of things, because we think you're a slave if you're a United States citizen and all that kind of stuff. And it's not even about that. Like the more you walk in, further along you go in this journey, you start realizing that stuff is not even important. It's controlling your state. If I go over, because I ain't gonna lie, if I get kidnapped, if I'm across the water somewhere and I got my passport to identify myself, and that thing doesn't come back in, it doesn't show that I belong here in America, because I'm so hell-bent on trying to renounce citizenship the way we were taught to do. And we were taught that shit by a lot of these damn so-called gurus. And somebody gonna see this video and try to sit there and they're gonna try their best to try to shit on what I'm saying. They're gonna try to shit on what I'm saying as if they are the standard. But they can't show you nothing in them damn laws that's gonna show you nothing different from what I'm telling you. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get on off here because I got a call right here, and plus I gotta go in this post office. I thought I'd make this video so y'all can give you something to think about. Something to think about. Someone's actually operating as a U.S. citizen, that's really just the status of the name. It's not the status of the man. It's not the status of the woman. It's the status of the name. Notice even your name is in all caps on the passport. Your name is not in its proper style on the passport. Name is not in all caps. I mean, it's not in upper lowercase. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's name gonna be in there. For commercial purposes, that's exactly how your shit gonna come out. I don't give a damn how you feel that DS11 form out. So it's still gonna be in all caps because it's the status of the name. It's not the status of the living man. Your name is the name of your estate. It's plain as day, plain and simple. Your name is the name of the estate. It's not you, but that's the name you do business with. That's how all your property gets in that name of that estate, because you do business with that name. Your title, all your property, your house, your cars, anything you buy, it's in the name of the estate. That's why the definition of the word estate is like, you look up the definition of the word estate, you see that that's a collection of all of your property. Okay, I'm using layman's terms, but that's what it is. That's what your estate is, a collection, is the sum total of all of your property. And in order for you to do business with that, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that, investments in this, investments in that, stocks, bonds, cryptocurrency, all the stuff, you're doing it with that name. Okay? That name is in all caps. You're collecting estates. You're enlarging your estate. You're enlarging your estate with that name. That's the name you do business with. So that's why when you pass away, if you don't do it, have a trust or a will put in place, probate. They probate your property and distribute it out to your heirs, because everything you did business with in that name, that's the name. That's you did business with that name, and that's a collection of everything you did business with. That you collected with that name. So it's the same thing you'd be doing if you had a trust and you created a trust and you put it all in the name of your trust. Same thing. So it's not about trying to be, worry about the status of that name. Oh, it's not, you a U.S. citizen. No, it's the name that's a U.S. citizen. That's what it shows where that entity, the principal address of where that entity came from. It came from this particular demographic of the world. So if I go somewhere else, anybody in another country know this is where I belong. Okay, fuck around and go across to another country you want to. And they don't know where you came from because you say you ain't no U.S. citizen. I bet you won't say you ain't no U.S. citizen if your ass way over there across the water. What's that chick named the chick that got caught with that weed, the basketball player? I bet she goddamn wasn't saying she wasn't no U.S. citizen. Folk want to come home. But anyway, I'm going to get on out of here. I go in this post office so I can mail this stuff off and get my day started, y'all. Certified mail it is. We'll see y'all in the next video. Hopefully you like and share it already. We'll see y'all in the next video. Emerald signing out.